In today's metal guitar tone tutorial, I'm going to go over why 2 amps are always better than 1. If you're finding that your guitars are sounding pretty good in a mix, but like say you get the low end sounding right, the mid's not there, and then you get the mid sounding right, and then the high end's not there, and then you get the high end sounding right, and then something's up and it's sounding fizzy and it's just sounding thin. And then you go into your EQ and you're trying to make all these EQ moves. It's always better to get the sound right at the source, that way your EQ moves are justified and you don't have to like do crazy carving. So for those parts, I'm using the Squier Bass 6, and my main amp tone is coming from the Auto Audio 1111, and I'm using the built-in cab 15. So all we're going to need for this is just one more amp sim, and then an EQ or some sort of plugin with a phase flip, and you'll see why. So real quick, I'm just going to duplicate. So now I have it duplicated, I'm just going to remove the amp sim, and I'm going to put a different amp sim. For some reason, I find that the Auto Audio 1111 and like the Fortin NTS or the Nameless sound really good together. Basically what you're looking for here is just an amp sim that has a different kind of tonal characteristic. So I know I can do a lot and I can get that scooped really nice guitar tone from the Auto Audio, and I know that in general, the grind pedal on the Nameless and on the NTS is just really good for like that cut. So I'm going to go with the NTS. Just going to turn the noise gate off. Obviously make sure it's in stereo mode since we're busing the guitars to one group. And before I do anything else, I'm just going to add a plugin with a phase flip. I know the Pro Q3 has a phase flip and it's very low latency, so I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to flip the phase and then just turn it off. We'll go back to this after. So let's listen to the main guitar and see what we think is missing. So right off the bat from listening to it, I really like the low end. The mid-range is scooped and it sounds really good, but I feel like we're missing some of the characteristics and the note clarity and the pick attack from the guitar. Using only one amp sim to get your entire guitar tone is basically like only eating broccoli thinking you're gonna get all the nutrients you need in a day. You need variety. You can't just use one thing to substitute an entire guitar tone, just like broccoli. I want mostly pick attack from this, so I'm gonna roll the gain off completely because the gain's really high on the other guitars, which is nice because I get the sustain from the Auto Audio. From these ones, I'm basically just getting the pick attack, and it's almost going to sound gated by the end of it. I really like the grind pedal for this. I know it sounds quite honestly terrible, but it's going to sound better. So I'm going to lower it quite a bit. You'll notice that this volume doesn't have to be very loud for it to make a huge difference. So let's listen in the mix now. And now I'm just gonna flip the phase and see if we're sitting in a good spot or if we're canceling our guitars out. To me, it's sounding a lot weirder when I flip the phase when I have the fab filter on. This might be a topic for another video as it's very deep. It has to do with drums, guitars, anything that there's 2 tracks of. If you want to see a separate video on phase and the relationship between phase and your tracks, let me know in the comments down below. It's important. I'm gonna roll with the guitars not flipped because I like what it's adding when it's not flipped. So to show that it's actually adding note definition and not just the chug, let's listen to this part on loop. So even quiet as hell, we can hear the notes coming through way more. And obviously it's all to taste, so I found that the Auto Audio, I really like the low end and the scooped mid. But say you're using, I don't know, Josh Middleton or Will Putney's STL, and you're like, I really like the mid range, but I'm lacking the high end or I'm lacking the low end. You can dial in your secondary guitar to be whatever you want. So when I'm mixing, usually I'll have 3 different kind of amps going. So one will be that normal auto audio one will be my secondary amp, and then there will be a third one that I blend in for certain moments. For example, this blown out wall kind of sound, another auto audio plugin. Just like super fuzzy, and sometimes for breakdowns, especially like since Knocked Loose is like huge now and like all these thall bands have like this unrealistic kind of guitar sound, which is super sick. Sometimes when there's like a heavy breakdown, I'll just blend this and then I automate. So let's say, for example, let's say for this breakdown, I'm gonna just really quickly automate my main guitars down. And then I'll raise the volume of the fuzz guitars. That way we have like a different kind of impact tonally. So let me play from a little bit earlier. A little bit further than I wanted to go, but you get the idea. And then this way, throughout the entire song, if there's like a part that it's like, I wish the notes came through a little bit more, I would raise the secondary amp, just automate it a little bit louder. Or if you want like that fuzzy sound, you kind of just automate and switch things up. Let's just recap everything we did today. I'm gonna play it over text so that I don't have to interrupt the song. You can really hear what everything's doing. Before I play this, I just want to point out that I already phase aligned all the guitars and got them where I'm sitting happy. So keep in mind, it sounds a little bit better right now. So feel free to use this to your advantage. Just listen to your amp sims and you'll probably realize, even if you only have 2, maybe you like the mid of one but you really don't like the mid of another one, use that amp for the mid range and nothing else, and then use the other one to fill in the gap. All we're doing is just like filling in the gaps. So thank you so much for watching. If you found any use in this video, please make sure to like and comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, because I plan to do more. And yeah, if you want to see that phase issue video, let me know down below. Thank you so much. See you next time. See ya.